Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing our YouTube channel. And if you want to support the channel further, kindly take a second or two and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we do a video like this. Kindly help us share our videos and give this particular video a like. To all our subscribers, as always, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that the President of the Judiciary, Madam Martha Koome, is making a mockery of Kenyans, and he is taking us for granted. I'm saying this in light of the altercation that has been going on when the executive decided to develop an onslaught against the judiciary and intimidating and threatening our judges. William Ruto decided very intentionally to intimidate the judges so that they can make rulings that are favorable to him. Martha Koome, due to pressure, decided to release some flippant statements here and there to be seen as if she's protecting the judiciary. I'm one person who still holds this opinion that Madam Martha Koome is not serious. So recently, when everyone was condemning William Ruto, the Law Society of Kenya, Opposition, Commonwealth, and all these people, the East African Judges and Magistrates Association, decided to air their view, and they were telling Ruto, whatever he's doing is not good for our democracy. So Martha Koome released a statement yesterday talking about dialogue, that she's seeking for dialogue with President William Ruto. And that statement did not augur well with the parties that decided to help her in the fight to protect the judiciary. In fact, 24 hours after that statement, William Ruto himself came up and said that he's now ready to sit down with Madam Martha Koome so that they can iron their issues.
Hatutaki ugomvi, hatutaki mfutano, hatutaki mambo ya kulumbana. Tunataka tufanye kazi pamoja. Mimi nimekubali yale Madam Chief Justice alisema kwamba tukutane. Mimi nimekubali kama rais ya kwamba niko tayari kukutana na viongozi wa mahakama ili tuondoe mambo ya ufisadi.
I want you to listen to the opposition and how they're just wondering what Koome is up to, because apparently there was never a war. What happened was that the executive wanted to have its way in everything, and it seemed that Madam Martha Koome is coiling her tail. Kindly take a look.
Heard from the Chief Justice yesterday was a call for dialogue. I don't know whether it was Justice Chunga who said dialogue for what, on what, and about what. What are they going to dialogue over? Are they fighting? Is it an admission that the judiciary and the executive have been in a fight? Because you only call for dialogue when two parties are warring. I don't think the judiciary has been on the warpath against the executive, the way the executive is trying to frame it. So I think the calls for dialogue perhaps might be well-intended, but it is going to portray the judiciary as weak and as being the smaller party. If it is going to be dialogue, where will it be held? At State House or within the precincts of the Supreme Court? Who will chair? The President of the Republic of Kenya or the President of the Supreme Court? So Justice Martha Koome must protect and defend the institution that she leads, because it is an institution that is a co-equal to the other arms of government. You know, when the
Chief Justice is talking about having a dialogue with the executive, which has got an active case in the court. This is how to compromise justice. Let the judges do their thing independently. We want to tell the Chief Justice not to compromise the position of the court. She already took a position. There's no need for dialogue. If I have a case in a court, I don't need to go and negotiate with the judges. There's no need for negotiations. Either I am right or I'm wrong. Either it is black or it is white. That's what it is. But if you want to compromise the judiciary and then negotiate with the executive over this kind of dispute, then we are saying you are yourself going to compromise the country. Kenyans must stand firm so that we protect these institutions that were created in this constitution. You have the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and the independent commissions, as we say, and let them remain independent.
When you see these two arms of government now saying separately that they are ready to talk, I'm reading the hand of the masters that gave William Ruto their win. Anytime there's a problem and a kind of shaky environment, you will realize that there have been phone calls. Maybe Meg Whitman or the United Kingdom High Commissioner to Kenya, and they have decided that these kind of altercations will expose them, because we all understand that there was a deal between these two people. Many people still hold the view that something happened, and that is why Madam Martha Koome told us that it was hot air and wild goose chase in the last presidential case. So these people, the masters, understand that they will be exposed. When two people are fighting, due to anger, one might just decide to spill the beans, and this is something that they don't want. So I hold the view that the US has spoken, and they are trying to compel them to talk. But Koome's admission that she's the one shaking for Ruto's hand in dialogue is one that has really exposed Madam Martha Koome. And I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt that she's admitting that she's very weak. She's admitting that there is something between them that she doesn't want to come out. Because it was William Ruto who initiated all these attacks. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you just three things why what Madam Martha Koome has done is very wrong and very shameful, if you ask me, in the corridors of justice. Number one, as I have said, there was a secret deal in 2022. Otherwise, if William Ruto is attacking the judiciary, he's not sparing the judges. He even made a declaration that he will not obey court orders. That is the most serious offense that an executive should ever make. The most reckless statement that a president of a country can make. And Madam Martha Koome should have met William Ruto on the same breath. But now she's coiling her tail. It only tells you there's something. Number two, Madam Martha Koome is a weak president of the judiciary. She has showcased it. She's unable to protect the judges against any external aggression, especially coming from William Ruto, and he fears William Samoei Ruto. Maybe because of the intimidation and partly because of a deal that they had. When you have a head of a department, a head of a judiciary, a president of a judiciary that is heading judges and all these people, then that judge is very weak. We are doomed as a nation, because where we sit today, the executive has choked the citizens so much that the only savior that they have should have been the courts. When people go to the streets, they are killed, that they are sabotaging businesses and the government's economy. So the only way to seek for justice is through the courts. Now the courts are also being intimidated, and the person who is supposed to protect them has coiled the tail, and she's saying that she's looking for dialogue for the same person who was not even ready for dialogue. Because if William Ruto had that respect to the judiciary, he should have called Madam Martha Koome for the very dialogue that, you know, they're now calling upon. And Madam Martha Koome, either subconsciously or intentionally, is doing something that is very wrong. You know, William Ruto's intention was to intimidate the judges. Now, He has succeeded in intimidating them, and even the head has now called the tail. He's ready to talk to them. This is very sad, because you will see moving forward, things are not going to be the same. The government will, the executive will have its way. You know, the three arms of government should act equally. And when you realize that your rights are being trampled, you should stand firm. The impending cases on the NHIF and the housing levy, I can assure you, after the behavior and the utterances of Madam Martha Koome, those cases are going to be ruled in favor of William Samoei Ruto. Because you need to see the clouds to understand that it's about to rain. And this doesn't need any rocket science. With such a weak demeanor against an aggressive William Ruto, who is in fact the oppressor here, the judiciary is oppressed, and they had Kenyans backing them, they had the opposition, they had the Law Society of Kenya. If the Law Society of Kenya even called for a mass demonstration just to protect them, now she's telling us that they're ready to talk. All the cases that were pending will be ruled in favor of William Samoei Ruto. The judges are now afraid because they relied on their president to protect them. That protection is not coming. Anaenda kukula na adui after they have been threatened. 2027 is a very sad year ahead of us, because what Madam Martha Koome is simply admitting is that they are ready to work in 2027. If someone is publicly attacking you, attacking your judges, because as it is, those are her judges. Just the same way William Ruto will protect the members of the cabinet, saying my ministers or cabinet secretaries, and for her to abandon them and ready to talk to the aggressor, it means they're ready to work in 2027. And this should worry Raila Odinga and Kalonzo and the team, because Madam Martha Koome is not ready to stand firm, is not ready to exercise the judicial autonomy that has been granted by the Constitution. And it is very, very sad. It also means that Madam Koome does not appreciate the people who came out in unity with her to help her protect the judges, to help her protect the judiciary, the opposition, Law Society of Kenya, the Commonwealth, all those people. Because when someone has come out to help you fight, then you don't negotiate. She should have stood firm so that we will look at this issue holistically to the end. Because now what she has done is that William Ruto has had his way, and moving forward, he knows very well that ukileta nyokonyoko kidogo unafinywa, because now, really, what does it mean? And I don't know, the judges who have got the cases on their hands, the cases against the the executive, they will be forced to lie low, because the head has called the tail. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is very sad. But again, I'm not surprised. Madam Hot Air was friendly from the onset and from the beginning. What is your take on this? Kindly tell me, share with me in the comment section.